Hey, is everybody here in the church? Is everybody attending the Sunday Mass? Sunday Mass at the Church of KRS. Okay, I think it's working. Good. Well, welcome. And my goodness, you guys are just waiting for me live. How do you find me so quickly live? Are you guys all on YouTube like 24/7 like me? Is that why you guys are quickly like I feel like if I go update at any moment, somehow, some way, within like 10 seconds, you guys start answering. That is crazy. I don't know. Are you guys all on smartphones and you get like notifications? Okay, mobile notifications. Okay, makes sense. Because you know why? Just in the last 3 years, 3 years, um, my viewership on YouTube and Facebook has switched from literally 60% of desktop to 20% of desktop. I mean, I'm like in my analytics, because my YouTube agent, she talks to me sometimes over email saying, "Hey, this is the statistics and this is what." She's like, you've got like now over 80% mobile people on your smartphone and all that." So she said, do live, and I'm like, okay. But then I never realized that that's why you guys get so many, you know, um, how quickly you guys get notifications. So, wow. All right. So, what's going on in the world of astrology? A lot of things. So first of all, a lot of you were asking, "Oh, what happened to you? Some of your consultations." I've taken half of my consultations off for like till Wednesday. That's because 25 days from yesterday, I'm gonna be in Sedona at the conference, hanging out with Dr. Arjun Pai, Eve Mendoza, Togi Aditya, Sandeep, and Ryan, Dennis Harness, Vic. Everybody's gonna be there. So I'm just excited. There's so many new scholars coming. It's gonna be a buffet of interviews there because I'm really actually going to interview. I'm going to have a session in Sedona. I was talking to Eve. I'm like, we should do like a gather around a fire in the evening because you can literally see the Milky Way galaxy in Sedona. That's how that's how starry the nights are. And I'm like, we should do like a fireplace gathering, and we you can talk about nakshatras, and I can record it and all that. I'm like, it's gonna be so great, having like uh what do you call? Some people will have hot chocolate. Some people will have like what do you call that, man? That Christmas drink. Um, that the Christmas drink that looks like a coffee but it's alcohol. I forgot the name. Bailey's. Yes, I know. That's what she told me too, Gaby M. last night. So, um, yeah, it's gonna be great. People will have scotches and Baileys and apple juice, whatever, and we'll be surrounded by the fire. So if you haven't booked your hotels and all that, right now is the time. I think Dennis told me only like 10 rooms left. I mean, it booked like that. When I announced it on Facebook 2 months ago, literally 80% of it was just filled within like uh, 3 days. So only 10 still left. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. That's why I don't want to work during that time period. The other thing, I'm so upset. I don't know who else is upset about House of Cards being canceled. Ay, 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 ay. I'm like, I wanted to see how Frank Underwood character ends. And now we will never get to see it because of the sexual scandal related to Kevin Spacey. And I am one of those old school people. As much as I want to be fair, you can't see, we are starting to give social justice to people instead of legal justice, which is so bad in this day and age. Regardless of how um, good or bad the person is, they need to be going to a trial. They need to be decided in the court of law. You know what's happening now on social media? We, the people, become the law and we become the jury. We are like Judge Dredd. We're like judge and the jury. And we can take out somebody's career just based on our opinion on social media. Now, of course, I do think he has done it. He has actually admitted it. But my God, what a worst time, man. I was waiting for season 6. This is the only show, one show that I watched. If it came to television or online television, this is one show I watched. It's because of this one show I moved to DC. You take it out. Oh my God, I'm so upset. Like this, I've never been so passionate about a show to be leaving. I was like emailing, I was chatting with like Netflix customer service, and I'm like, you better tell your producer to end his character properly. And so then it got me thinking, you know, about Gandanta points. Every single one of us right now is going through a Gandanta point for the first 70 days. Okay? And especially the first 30 days of Gandanta becomes very crucial. Why am I saying the first 70 days? Because, well, not even 70 days, I'm sorry. The first 30 days is when the Gandanta is. Okay? Because Saturn moves 3 degrees in 70 days. So it's literally, quarter of that. But Gandanta is the untying of the knots, karmic knot. Okay? What do I mean by untying of the karmic knot? Like the victims, whether it's Kevin Spacey or Harvey Weinstein, or like the new couple of directors now who are being accused of sexual harassment and all that, the victims are finally untying their knot. They're saying, oh, we can't take this. So the tying of the karmic knot is happening. Everything that you were holding back within you, whether it was the past 30 years, 20 years, okay, 5 years, you're untying it and you're like, okay, I really want to release this. And that's what happens. But in that releasing, what happens is you may release it and somebody else gets it. So it's like a seesaw. The karmic knot doesn't stay here. One releases it, the other one gets it. And that's what's happening. All these actresses are coming out against Harvey Weinstein and all of that. It's Saturn is saying, especially in Scorpio, of hidden sexual scandals. Especially, in or I'm sorry, yeah, in the Scorpio sign, all the way to the Mula Nakshatra of Sagittarius. So here, this is the Gandanta point, okay, from Scorpio to Sagittarius. Scorpio starts untying it. Okay, Scorpio starts untying it. And Scorpio sign is all about sexual scandals, hidden world, occult mysticism. And from there it started untying. So right when Saturn went to Gandanta, Harvey Weinstein news came about. Okay? Then, when Saturn moved into Sagittarius, the healing began. Because what's happening now, like the victims, whether it was Ashley Judd or this Rad guy, whoever that guy is with the Kevin Spacey, they're now taking the roots that they were stuck with. They're taking the roots out. See, Saturn in Mula Nakshatra either plants new roots or takes the old roots out. So what's happening is most of the people, most of us, we're taking either our old roots out or planting some deep roots within ourselves. And that is the process of Gandanta. And when Saturn moves out of Gandanta, this whole scandal thing is going to calm down. But the first 13.5 degrees of Sagittarius is still Mula Nakshatra. It is still about planting roots and taking out roots. So we're still going to see some of those effects for literally like like 100 and 160, 70 days. So this is actually a great time. Like you have New Year's resolution. New Year's is coming in 2 months, and you're gonna have New Year's resolution. I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to learn astrology. Forget that. This is the time period. Starting now, this Gandanta of Mula is the time period where your decisions should be made, and actually should be made, depending upon the house that Saturn is transiting in your horoscope. The decisions are going to be either uprooting or planting. So it's a great time to make some big decisions of your life. Like, hey, I want to do this now. I want to do that now. Like, okay, so if you guys remember, I don't know if you guys have seen the show House of Cards. In season two, um, Frank Underwood's wife, forgot her character, she gets him this rowing machine. Okay? It's like for your muscles, for your heart, and everything. And just like 4 days ago, I was looking into like ordering that machine. Okay? But I have to wait because it's really expensive. It's really expensive. So I'm gonna have to wait like 1 or 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna get it. Because I want to like really just get my muscles going. All I do here is either reading books, or I'm looking into charts, I'm writing books, and that's it. I sit here and I walk. I walk, or like 2 or 3 times a day I walk. But now what's happening is season is changing. It's now starting to be cold outside. I'm like, I love the cold, but I need to get some sweatpants, some heavy pants so I can walk. And I like walking barefoot. That's another thing that started with Saturn Gandanta. I started walking barefoot because the barefoot feet, it aligns your knee and your leg. The shoe is very artificial. The foot doesn't feel that it's on the ground. So the best remedy for like my knee injury that I had 5 years ago with my basketball is really healing now. And I think that's what the Gandanta is like healing that process of my knee just by walking bare feet. It's gotten stronger within like 1 or 2 weeks. So Gandanta is absolutely great. Great point, great time to release all your, inner demons. And for some people, yes, it's time for you to get your own karmic dues. So some of these people are getting their karmic dues. And this is why I imagine if Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey knew just 2 years ago about Gandanta point, Saturn transit, what their moon nakshatra is, what this nakshatra is. Like I was just looking at Kevin Spacey's chart without his time of birth, and when I Namamsha nakshatra came in the birth, it just started to make sense. And I was looking at different time periods, so most of the nakshatras weren't changing. So it just made sense. Like one nakshatra is like a part of a puzzle. And if you look at this nakshatra, like Pushya with this, and then Mula with Jeshta, it creates a certain scheme and a pattern. And this is something I'm trying to learn from Eve. Nobody else, I think, knows this. Single nakshatra is great, but when one nakshatra matches with the other, man, oh man, this is why I'm looking forward to Sedona, because I'm going to be learning this from Eve. So you start to see the patterns in like, Pushya is one of the most prosperous nakshatras out there, right? It's one of the best nakshatras. It gives you everything that you want, like Rohini and Pushya. But if Pushya lands, especially with Saturn or Mars, I mean, that's where you're going to see that it's going to be very, very hard for the world to deal with this person because of the fact the Pushya energy gets completely manipulated with Mars and Saturn, or especially Rahu. So you see how all of these dynamics play out. So just looking at that, I was seeing why it's happening in his chart, and my God, so similar. So similar. Like two nakshatras were present so strongly in their both of their chart, like Weinstein and him. But yeah, so this is what Gandanta does. It's very important to understand that whatever you are dealing with, whatever you are facing right now, I mean, you should be happy. Like right now, if Kevin Spacey knew this, Weinstein knew this, they should actually be happy that they're being punished. Because now Saturn is saying that, look, the UPS package came in of your accusation, and here it is. Sign on the paper. All right, see you later. But now, guess what's happened? Now that this is out, they will not have to deal with that again in their life. So it's like a bittersweet chocolate. It's like a bitter chocolate. It's like a Swiss chocolate. You know, like the 90% chocolate. It's bitter, but it is chocolate still. So you're enjoying it. So they're enjoying the fruits of their karma. Why is it still a fruit? Because they are releasing their past life debts so they can get closer to either the next level of existence, some next plane, or closer to moksha. So you really do want, for planets to help you release why you're here. The Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey or any of these people, they were born. They were born because they had to face these things from their past lives. Like people are wondering, why is it that, these people did this? Why is it that, what's happening with this whole cleaning of Hollywood? Cleaning, there's a cleansing that is happening. Why is it? It's this Gandanta point, untying the knots and cleaning it out and uprooting all the bad things. So, in a way, this is a healing process for everybody, the victim and the accused. But one thing I just do not like, I absolutely do not like, is one person just coming out saying something on Twitter, and now world is giving this person a justice without even knowing what's happening behind the scenes. What's the truth? What did the jury say? What the judge said? What the lawyer said? It's like it's become a very messed up system now. Like that Black Mirror series on Netflix, where they're actually trying this now in China, where people rate you. Like they see you and they will be like, "Oh, you have a 3.2 ratings. Yeah, I don't want to be friends with you." "Oh, you have a 2 rating and I don't want to be friends with you." "Oh, you have a 5 rating. Can we be friends?" You know how scary that is? I mean, that's why I know I am going to be going more into isolation. Like over the years, I'm gonna go move into like some very small mountain town on a middle of US and just like live quietly with like, my barred home, and that's it. Leave me alone. You go rich yourself. So scary, scary stuff. And what else is happening? Um, oh yeah, I have to make the third part to Gandanta point. The third part to the Gandanta point. So now, once I make the third part, you'll be like, oh, okay. Now we're seeing some things happening here. Okay, okay, okay. I guess I should not judge my chart so immaturely as I was doing in the past 4 videos that Kapil made on Ashtakbarka. Because even with the second part that I made, even with the live readings that I did, people were still like asking the questions where I have said it repeatedly. This is not it. This is not it. This is just a part of it. And they're thinking, most of you are thinking, oh, that is it. I have this and I'm screwed. So, third part is going to be coming. But other than that, we're going to be coming back to the regular series. Oh, Wednesday. Wednesday, I have a very, very special guest coming on my channel. His name is Yogi Cameron. Yogi Cameron is going to be coming. He is an Ayurvedic um, doctor here in California, Los Angeles. He's actually the person in the video of Sedona. Express yourself. If you see that model in the video, express yourself. That's him, Yogi Cameron. So he's going to be coming on my channel on Wednesday to talk about Ayurveda, to talk about health, and also merging in that with astrology. So it'll be a fun discussion. And it's so amazing. Look at this. It is so crazy. Saturn is in Mula Nakshatra. Mula is connected to Ayurveda. Mula and Swati are connected to Ayurveda. And here's Saturn is transiting. And remember what I said about changing diets with Mula Nakshatra. And here is an expert coming on Ayurveda to talk about it. And I think Yogi Cameron is, I think he's Persian and some other race mixed, but he went to India and studied for years, man. This is amazing. How he went from a transition of from like supermodel to super yogi. So he's gonna be coming. I was excited about that. I've got a great class coming also from another teacher, and that's it. So anybody else dealing with the Gandanta issue in their life? No, in India it does not work less. You know why it does not work less? Because most people don't care anymore. That's why. Because McDonald's and everything and all the fast foods places are everywhere else, so nobody wants to follow a natural diet. Nobody wants to follow a healthy diet. Everybody wants to eat pizza and burgers and this and that. It's not less in India. It was never high. In India, you have to be on a very, very strict plan to really understand the value of Ayurveda. See, that's the Gandanta point. You started learning about Ayurveda last week. So this year was worse. Well, I mean, look, Saturn was very heavy. Saturn was very heavy, especially in Scorpio and going through especially Jeshta and then coming in Mula. But again, I don't know your horoscope. I don't know what exactly you're going through. Um, but hopefully you get a better year next year. Um, 9, 10, 11. So Saturn is transiting your 8th house. That means you're a Taurus ascendant. Saturn rules the 9th and 10th house. So actually, this is a good transit for you because Saturn is looking at the 10th house. It's Mool Trikon sign. It's going to bring stability by transformation in your career. Transformation is going to happen. Some big change is going to happen in your career, but it's going to be for more stable life, not for some chaotic life. Again, this is only like 5% of the scheme. I'm telling you, I don't know what dasha you're going through or what, but it's a good transit though. Even if Saturn has low points in Ashtak Varga scheme, it'll whenever it's activated, it'll help you in that. You got fired from your job 7 days ago. Good job. That remember me getting fired from my job. Well, actually, I was laid off. It was the greatest thing in my life, and I'm so glad it happened. You just never know what good will come out from your misfortunes. That's something I've always learned. Sometimes you just don't know what will come out of your misfortunes. Hmm. My babies are crazy. They are like, oh my god, they drive me nuts all day. They actually drive the grandmother nuts because they're with the grandmother. They do not want to come out of her room. They do not. My mom's room is right there. They do not want to come out of her room. They just want to hang out with her. And man, downstairs, they run after each other with this lawnmower toy, which makes us sound like grrr. And oh my god, it drives me nuts. Well, yeah, you're uprooting you're you're taking those old thesis roots out and planting them new roots in. Wait till they're teens. Oh man, I want to be living in the mountains when they're teens. I'm like, go live in the city. Gandanta point happens when Saturn is after 29 degrees of Scorpio to below 1 degrees of Sagittarius. So it's like a 30 to 40-day point of Gandanta. And if you notice, just from that point, everything started happening. All the scandals started happening, and this is all probably happening in your own country too. regardless of where you are, there should be some roots planting and roots being put in. Um, Saturn in Purva Shada will be interesting. Saturn in Purva Shada is going to be very interesting. And especially if you will notice, maybe like during that time period, Hollywood may produce some war-related movies. Like a lot of war-related movies will come out, like epic wars or even new wars. Or there could be declaration of new war between countries. I have to look at my what? You have to look at your chart. What is the best way to look at a chart? I'm not sure what that means. Saturn in Uttarashada is a great, great placement. Man, that can make for like a prolific novel writer. Yes, Eve Mendoza is going to come on my channel, but guess what? Next time you see Eve Mendoza on my channel, she's going to be sitting right next to me in a very, very amazing, serene environment in front of a fire, and I'm going to record a session where she's going to talk about nakshatra. Like she's going to be sitting on top of the chair. We're all going to be sitting on the floor. And man, I'm just counting days. It's like we're sending emails to each other in a group email, and we're just saying T minus 25 days left, T minus 20 days left. Like everybody's just like static and excited to just meet and greet and just hang out and probably just not even do anything, just hang out, man. So I don't know who who else is coming to Sedona from here. Okay, good. A little bit of health problem. Oh yeah, this is my wife who gave me the haircut. See that? She gave me a mohawk. I don't know if you can see the mohawk. It was my wife gave me this cut. Mohawk cut, man. She was great. I'm like, that's it. You're my hairdresser from here on out. Uh, yep. Saturn and Ketu Nakshatra. So it's like all the deep knowledge is going to be coming out. Hey, if you're heartbroken about a girl, just remember somebody may not be even have get the chance to experience that heartbreak because they may not be alive today. So if a girl left you, um, so what? But again, at your age, when I went through some of my breakups, oh my God, I thought the world was over. I thought like I will never be able to do anything. I was in my bed for like day and night, day and night. Now when I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, how dumb was I? You're crying over somebody who doesn't want to be with you. Look what you're doing to yourself. And you know what changes this? What changes doesn't matter how good looking, how great the girl is. As soon as the next one comes in, you forget it. So go through your breakup. This is life experiences. This is great experiences. So go through them. They teach you a whole lot about life and people. And then later on, when you go through another breakup, you'll be like, oh, I've been through it. Great. Enjoy these moments. These are the best moments. Saturn inside Ravan. You must limp. So anyway, guys, wanted to just share this and about the Gandanta news. and how upset I am at House of Cards. Ay, ay, ay. I've been watching like season one again just for the hell of it because hey, I will never get to see that again anymore. And it's a shame. He was a brilliant actor. Kevin Spacey is a brilliant, brilliant actor, but you know what? Corey Feldman, he said it, and quite a few other actors said it, that Hollywood is not just about sexual scandal. It's filled with even pedophiles, they said. So, man, I just hope this whole thing gets cleaned up. Like politics, the government, and that. Oh man, some of the stories that you hear is just it's. This is why I'm so glad. I don't want to be part of that industry at all. I just want to be my own industry. That's it. And I'm sure it's not just Hollywood. It's all sorts of film industries is going through. I mean, you don't know what peccadillos is happening in Bollywood, and everybody knows that Bollywood has had the hands of the underworld in there. So like, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to make money and fame through that, man. That's like living on double-edged sword. So no way. Oh yeah, they. You never know they do. You never know they do. I mean, they. Oh, it's pedophilia runs very, very heavily in certain um, industries and group settings. It's scary. But I hope Saturn cleans it all out. Clean it all out. I don't care to see any more Hollywood movies, man. They're all they do is just like bring repeated comic book stuff, nothing original. So yeah, I mean, I hope that Corey Feldman just comes out and says everybody's names who are involved in this. I mean, there's like rings of they have parties. They have like parties where some of these things take place. Like like that movie Eyes Wide Shut. It's like it was like a hint, giving us a hint. Puppy's name? That's not a puppy. That's almost an 8-year-old golden named Yash. So, what else is happening? Whether spiritual people are under planetary impulses. Nope. Well, okay, depend upon. I can say, oh, I'm a spiritual person. Am I under planetary influences? Yes. Maybe no. Okay. But one thing is for sure. There's two ways the planets or your own chart stops affecting you so strongly. One is when you find enlightenment and you get away from the material world internally, then planets and transits don't do anything. They come, they go, because then you are in control when you want to go. You are in control when you want to do something. And the second is when you get married. When you get married and when you have children, the 100% effect of your chart decreases to literally 30-20%. So especially when a person is married, that becomes a very tough chart to see how the planetary transit will play out. Even if you have the chart of their spouse, it's a very, very complicated game. It becomes a very complicated game as to how things are going to happen, because if your spouse's Saturn transit is happening in the third house, yours is happening in the eighth house. Now you're going to have to match that and then look at your children, because children are part of your own DNA. If they have Saturn transiting their 11th house, how is that affecting you? So once you are a family person, then you can no longer look at a single chart and just start saying things. But still, you can. And this is why I love the fact that Pi Team came and made that video on Trabagi Dasha using Amitabh Bachchan's chart. So Trabagi Dasha is great. But again, the transit, the dashas are different. Transit of planets. The effect of the transit you cannot see when the person is married. So it becomes a very complicated process in that case. Can you find kids Gandanta point? No, there's no like Gandanta point for a specific person. Sure, they might have a planet. If your kids might have a planet in a Gandanta position, whenever a planet is between water and fire signs, which is above 29 degrees and less than 1 degrees from the next sign, that's Gandanta point. But right now, Saturn is in Gandanta for everybody. All the 3 trillion, 10 trillion beings that are on this planet, including animals. So Saturn is transiting in Gandanta for everybody. It doesn't matter for kids or not. For everybody. Some people have it when they're born. So if you're born right now, you're being born with Saturn in Gandanta. That's what it is. So anyway, guys, we will see you later, and I will post video today of conjunctions and all that and whatnot. All right. See you later.